I'm going to have a bookshelf scavenger hunt pick my next read. I've been meaning to film this video for like a week now because I'm so excited. It sounds so fun, but I am very sick, so I apologize in advance for my voice in this. I don't know who started this. I've seen Jency Reads do it and Ella Rose Reads do it. It's just such a fun concept. So if you don't know how it works, basically you go through this list of prompts and it takes you through books on your bookshelf, and then eventually you get to the one that you're going to read in this video. I have majority of my books on the shelf behind me, and then I also have pretty much all of my unread books on my TBR cart, which you can't see, but I have a different camera on it down here. Our first prompt is a book that you gave 5 stars. I think I'll just go with the one that's most recent, which is Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. This is honestly a 6-star book for me. I still to this day can't stop thinking about it. It was so fun. The prompt next is pick something on that cover and find another book with that thing in the title or the cover, which I did not think through because it's an astronaut. Is person too general? Like if I just say it's a human on here, then there's more options. One I just finished is Not in Love by Ali Hazelwood, which has 2 people on the cover, so we're just gonna go with that. From this book, we need to pick a book that has a similar looking cover. I mean, is it cheating if I pick another Ali Hazelwood book? Because I think she uses the same artist for all her covers. You know what? I'm gonna pick, actually, Heartstopper Volume 6. I feel like they're kind of similar in like the way they're holding each other, even though the colors are different. So then I need to count the number of letters in this title and pick a random spot on my bookshelf and count to that number. So there's 12. So my books are organized kind of chaotically. So I'm just gonna start like down here. That takes us to Powerless by Elsie Silver, which I read fairly recently, and then go to page 50, line 5, and pick a word from that line and find a title that has that word. Page 50. Okay, the first word I hovered over is the word numb. However, I don't think I have a book with that title. Let's see, what else do we have? We have Best. See, I felt like that was a possibility. Okay, My. There's gotta be a My somewhere.
2,000 years later.
Okay, I don't think anything from this line is gonna work, so I'm just gonna close my eyes and like randomly point on this page. There. Wrong. Oh, I know I have one with wrong, because I have Wrong Place, Wrong Time, which is on my TBR card. We have Wrong Place, Wrong Time by Gillian McAllister, which is on my fall TBR, but this is not our final book. The next one is to find a title with the same number of letters or words. So this has 4 words. I feel like words is probably easier. Oh, you know what? We could do The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston, which has 4 words on it. And this was also a recent 5-star read of mine. And then flip to a random page, point at that word, and find that word in a book title on your TBR shelf. And this is like the final step. So let's see here. We. That's pretty good. I feel like we is good. We Were Villain, I think I have. Or We Are Not Like Them. Ooh, we have multiple options. I think we have 2 options here, which is nice. So we have We Are Not Like Them by Christine Pride and Joe Piazza, or If We Were Villains by Emma Rio. Honestly, both of these sound really good. This one is like more emotional, and this one is like a dark academia thriller. I think I'm kind of in a thriller mood. I've been reading a lot of like romances lately, so I think I'm gonna go with this one, because I've had this on my TBR for a while also. So I'm very excited to read it. This is about Oliver Marks, who was released from jail 10 years after he was in college in this like Shakespearean acting group, and there was like a murder or something, and he's the one that went to jail for it, and he comes out of jail like ready to tell the truth, because all of his friends at that time played the same roles on stage and off. Good-natured rivalries turned ugly, and opening night real violence invades their world of make-believe. This is probably gonna be like past and present as we like go through what actually happened that fateful night. Let's go read this. started reading this and I was surprised by how much Shakespeare is in it. Like, it's literally on the back. They're Shakespearean actors, but they speak in like Shakespeare quotes. They would be so annoying in real life. But I was a theater kid, so I kind of get it. Okay, I think this book is definitely more dark academia gothic fiction than a thriller, although it's definitely a mystery. But I'm on page 143, which is like almost halfway into the book, and the murder just happened. A lot of this is just like the personal drama between these 7 college friends and like their friendships with each other slowly unraveling. So it's been very fun to read, very bingeable. It's very fun because they're all actors, so it's like they're super dramatic, and it just makes this like really juicy. I was trying to guess who I thought was going to be murdered, and I had 2 guesses, and one of my guesses was right, and that's all I'm gonna say because I don't want to spoil it. It's told kind of in an alternating timeline with him talking to the detective in the future, and then him kind of experiencing his final year at this college with all his friends when everything went wrong 10 years earlier. There's so much drama in this book. I feel like it's mostly drama, like college friend group drama, and I'm eating it up. It's so entertaining. There's romance in this book, which I expected, but it's kind of like a love square of sorts. And I'm not gonna say any more because I don't want to give it away, but it's very entertaining. I don't want to keep reading because I think I know how this is gonna end, and it's gonna make me cry. So I finished the book. I devoured this book. I read this in 2 days, I guess. I started it yesterday. I honestly think I read this in 24 hours. So if that doesn't tell you how much I like this book, then my rating definitely will, because I did give this 4.5 stars. I was toying with 5. I don't think it's quite 5-star territory. I'm not entirely happy with the way it ended, I guess, but like it's more of a personal preference thing than like an actual problem with the book. It's definitely dark academia, which I knew, but I don't know if I've ever actually read dark academia, and I really like it, which is good to know. There's like subtle mystery, but it's kind of a subplot almost to just like the drama of these students. The characters felt really real, which I really liked. They felt like complex and flawed, and it made it really easy to kind of fall into the story and to root for and against certain characters. You could definitely feel like the anguish that they were feeling throughout this book because they go through it. A lot of that was expressed through Shakespeare quotes, which was really interesting and I really enjoyed. I don't think you need to be like an expert on Shakespeare to read this book, but I think it helps to have like some general knowledge of Shakespeare for this to like hit the way it's supposed to hit, because this hit really hard. And I'm not a Shakespeare expert by any means. I've not touched Shakespeare since high school. I think I did Romeo and Juliet, Twelfth Night, Hamlet, and Macbeth, and that's all I really know, and they reference pretty much all of those in this book, which was really cool. It's really interesting because it's written like a Shakespeare tragedy, like a modernized version of a Shakespeare tragedy, which I'm sure was the intention of the author. I think ML Rio has like a degree or something in Shakespeare specifically, so she was clearly well prepared to write this book. She talks about like the extensive research that she did of Shakespeare and his plays and the meaning behind it in the author's note at the end, which was interesting to read also. This book is sad. Like very sad, non-stop sad. There's no relief from it sad. So that, just a warning, because I wasn't prepared for that when I went into this. I thought it was gonna be more like a lighthearted, like, I don't know, like Gossip Girl situation kind of vibes. No, it's dark and it's sad. It's like almost a love story, like when it comes down to what this book is like truly about. I feel like the description on the back of this does not do it justice, because I've had this book for a while and I was interested in it, and like the plot intrigued me a bit because like I was a theater kid and I'm kind of a theater nerd, so that's kind of what appealed to me about this. But other than that, like I didn't feel that drawn to it. But like this, you will fly through. It's so bingeable, it's so deep and meaningful and interesting, and such a like cool character study of all these different people with like very different personalities, but like the way they were kind of forced to be friends because they're the only people in their year. So it's like the fourth year students, there's only 7 of them, and they like went through the school together, so they formed that bond because they like don't really interact with anyone else. It's so interesting, like the way those relationships were written for a bunch of people that were like maybe unlikely friends but like came to really fiercely care about each other. Kind of a found family vibe for sure in this, but found family in like that toxic way, kind of, where like maybe they should make some other friends, you know? Overall, I thoroughly enjoyed this. It was really nice to kind of fly through a book. I literally just sat outside yesterday and today, the weather's been so nice, and read this book. So if you haven't read it, I highly recommend. The bookshelf scavenger hunt was so fun. I would definitely want to do that again. So let me know if you enjoyed it, and maybe I'll do another one in the future with some different questions. I'll leave the prompts I use down below. I got some of them from other people's videos and then some of them from this like blog post that I found, which I'll also link down below. If you enjoyed, you can like, subscribe, comment down below. It would mean so much to me, and I will hopefully see you in my next video. Bye!